If any of these gurus sold you on the idea of growth operating, that you can sign 1 to 3 clients, AI that does everything of the work for you, and you get paid 20 to 50K per month, do not fall for the trap. Because I just want to make a video and I want to get this off my chest because I've been a growth operator for the past 2 years. I've generated $500,000 for all my clients, and I'm still doing it. And there's a lot of things that all these gurus are just not telling you. And in this video, I want to break down everything, the dark side of growth operating and the upsides of growth operating. And I just want to give you a very honest and transparent truth of everything that I've seen from other growth operators in the space, that I have learned and experienced throughout my experience of growth operating. And I just want to give you an honest rundown of everything. So here's the problem, right? Like, there's a lot of people in the space that are selling you growth operating right now, that are saying, oh, like growth operating is the best business model out there. The shadow operating, AI operating, or whatever they call it, is just basically, if you don't know what the business model is, it's basically finding someone, a creator, a business owner who has a personal brand, and monetizing or it on the back end. And you basically build like a coaching business, an info product, a course, or anything like that, or community to help them monetize their channel or their social media platforms, because brand deals revenue is not sustainable and they need to build a true business. And that's what everyone is trying to sell you right now. This has been going on for like the past 2 years since I first got into it, and up to now, where a lot of the growth operators are actually successful and they are selling you on their making growth operating the biggest thing. And they're just selling you on their own growth operating programs and like teaching you how to be a growth operator for all these businesses, right? And if you're a creator, if you're a business owner watching this, like, I'm sure you've gotten multiple and multiple DMs, like countless of DMs, just from growth operators telling you that they can monetize your YouTube or your Instagram, and you're just so sick and tired of it. And I get it. I I was in the trenches once, and it's just crazy. So they just flooded the entire market with all these like outreach messages saying that they will take a percentage or revenue share from you, and they will just like help you do everything on the back end and monetize everything. You just need to create content and you just need to make the product, right? So that's for business owners. But for actual operators, or if you're someone watching this video right now and you're trying to start growth operating, this is the video for you. Because I'm just so like sick and tired of all these people just like telling you the wrong stuff, trying to promote their programs, trying to tell you every single thing about growth operating and not sharing their honest truths about it. And yeah, I just want to share everything with you right now. So I have notes here, so so I don't like overwhelm you with everything, and I just want to keep the video concise and structured so that you really understand everything. All right. So if anyone is selling you on growth operating like right now, they will just tell you like you can sign 1 to 3 dream clients. You AI just does all of the work for you, and you basically make 20 to 50K per month. And they make it seem so easy because you're just selling the outcome and the dream of it, and they're just not telling you the downsides of it. So I'm gonna tell you the downsides, and I'm gonna tell you the upsides of it. So I'm not hating on growth operating. I still do it. I'm still preaching and doing what I do, but I have to share this with you, and this is just an honest like truth. It's just like what I've experienced. So if you want to hate me, go hate me. But yeah, I just want to tell you everything about what worked and what didn't work, so that you actually like see the full picture of what happened to me and how I learned from it, right? So I got into the space early 2 years ago, and everyone was still like young growth operators, right? Like multiple business owners who are COOs and operators of businesses that shed on this business model. And this business model came about from one of my close friends and mentors who actually like promoted growth operating So I don't want to say his name because you like for confidential reasons, but I'm sure you know who it is. But yeah, like he taught me everything I needed to know. I outreach to people. Like I didn't know anything back then. So like I didn't know like how hard it is, and I didn't understand like how business actually worked. So back then when we were still doing outreach and stuff like that, I closed my first client. I made her 15K within 2 weeks. And it just seems so easy, right? It just seems so easy because we were just like selling people with a low ticket community and like funneling them into a school community and stuff like that. And it all seems so easy, but it's actually not easy as I learned more about high ticket, as I learned more about content, running an actual business, funnel, sales teams, leadership, everything, right? And no one actually told me or actually like mentioned that it was actually harder than it seems. And it's just, and I was just basically clueless about everything. Like, so when I first started, like I didn't know much. I saw early success with it. I made 10K within 6 months. I just got into entrepreneurship 6 months before I even like did growth operating. And after 3 months of doing entrepreneurship, I did growth operating and transitioned from a copywriter to a growth operator. And I basically saw my first success with 10K per month. So there's three things that I want to point out in this video today. And I really want you to understand like the downsides first before I go into the upsides of it. So the first point that you need to understand is that you need skills first. With growth operating, it's basically running a business. You're basically a COO of a business and you're basically operating on everything behind someone who has a personal brand. And you're basically building an entire business. So you need to understand copywriting, you need to understand sales, you need to understand leadership, you need to understand communication skills. You need all of these skills like before you even start growth operating. And there's a lot of people who make growth operating seem so easy because like, oh, like I will just give you a course, you'll just learn everything. And it's not actually that easy. You have to actually put in the work, you have to actually be in the trenches to experience all of these things. You're basically a COO. You're just like managing someone who has like a personal brand, and the creator just wants to create personal brands, right? They just want to create content. So why would a creator who has 50 to 100K, maybe a million views, hire a COO who is inexperienced, right? No one asked me that. No one told me that. No one actually like mentioned this thing because like back then it was a trend, right? Everyone thought like it was like the craziest thing and stuff like that, but right now it's just oversaturated and like everyone's trying to get into it, right? So you honestly need skills first. You need to master at least one skill, either sales or copywriting, before you even get into it, right? And I'm not saying like you like shouldn't get into a growth operating, like disclaimer, like not I'm not saying like I'm not shitting on growth operating, I'm not hating on it, like I'm just giving you my honest truth, all right? So you need to master one thing first, whether it be sales, whether it be copywriting, and you can even like learn automations or funnels first and stuff like that. But all of those things will come after like you learn the foundational skill of sales or copywriting, because that's the most fundamental thing and it's the most low barrier to entry to get into. So you should actually learn one of those skills first. And I learned copywriting at the start. I understood how to write copy, and I just didn't have the experience to write copy because I didn't like sign as many clients as I wanted to, right? But with growth operating, I actually like wrote a lot of emails. I wrote a lot of copy for my clients, and that's where I got the reps in, right? So you need to get the reps in first before you even get into growth operating, because you need to understand the fundamental business skills like sales or copywriting, and to actually like run the actual business, right? Because if you don't learn sales, you can't run a sales team, right? If you don't learn appointment setting, you can't go up to a closer and you can't close deals. and you don't understand how to actually run an entire sales team, right? Because with sales teams, you need to be better like than all your closers, right? In order for them to respect you. And in terms of copywriting, you have to understand how to write copy before AI can actually help you to write copy. You're not gonna write copy using AI if you don't know the fundamentals of it. You don't understand how emails actually get people to click, how to get people to open the emails and stuff like that. So it's not that easy, right? It took me like a fuck ton of reps to actually understand how to write copy, and I'm still not that good myself. Like there's so many copywriters out there that are way better than me that have like ran campaigns and stuff like that, and I'm just like not that great yet. But I'm just trying to be honest. So I want this to be the most honest video in the entire world, and I'm just gonna share everything that I learned. All right. So like if you want to share me, that's fine. But like, I'm just trying to share my honest opinion. So what the second thing that people don't tell you about is managing a creator or managing a business owner who has a personal brand, or like whatever you want to call it, right? Someone who actually has the personal brand, the skill set, like what they want to teach in terms of like coaching and info and stuff like that, right? So it's messy. It's just like chaotic. It's just crazy, right? Like I'm gonna read the bullet points because I can't remember everything, but they rely on you for everything. They have imposter syndrome and they're scared to sell high ticket. They don't want to fulfill or build good products. They think very short term. They don't listen and they want to do their own thing. And you constantly have to justify your work. So these are the few bullet points. There's more, I'm sure, but you can say it's a skill set issue and you can say like it's a creator issue, right? But there are some things that are a skill set issue of me not understanding how to onboard clients, not knowing how to manage the people and like all the creators, not knowing how to actually build a good relationship with them, understanding that I need to push them even harder and stuff like that. And now I understand that after 2 years of doing this, like I fully understand it now. There are golf operators that are better than me, make more money than me and stuff like that. And I truly respect them. Like I truly admire them for their work. But they have refined their onboarding processes. They have chosen the people that they actually worked with, which are good. They qualify their clients before they even like work with them and like do a partnership deal with them and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that go with it, but in terms of the creator side, it's really chaotic. I have creators that actually just don't want to make the product, they just want to make content. They just don't fulfill on their products, and that's why the entire coaching or info space is called a scam, because of the reputation of all these creators that don't want to like fulfill. They hire coaches that are not good at what they do, and just customers not being happy. I have seen people that are scared to sell high ticket because they think like they can't fulfill, they have to do so much work on their end, they have multiple businesses and stuff like that. It's honestly like crazy. And I want to touch on two very good points which I mentioned, which is they rely on you on everything, and constantly have to justify your work, which goes hand in hand, because they rely on you on literally everything. They think that once they hire the growth operator, they don't have to do much on their end. They think that they have to just make content or make whatever content that they want and just magically have leads come in and just all of that stuff, right? So we constantly have to justify our work because like we have to make the creator happy, and we have to basically make them think that we are doing everything and we are just getting a very little percentage of what we do. Like I've seen like people, my friends who are growth operators, like get 5 to 10% and they're doing literally everything of the business. And one of my friends who won the school games actually talked to Alex Amosi, and Alex Amosi just mentioned like, so you're basically doing everything for them, right? Then they got awkward, right? So it's just crazy. And when I was actually working with clients back then, when I didn't know much, I would still do everything for them. I would still like listen to their opinions, and like they would like not want to do content that actually gets clients or qualifies prospects. They would not like really give me the payment processes. They would they'll not want to do like certain things inside of the community. They don't like engage in the community. They don't really hop on group calls. They miss group calls. They miss one-to-one calls. And I've seen like bullshit everywhere with like all these creators that like don't want to fulfill, and customers are not happy. They try to refund people, and they don't want to refund people, and they just like want to, yeah, they just want to continue making content, and like magically it will just like fall into place. Everything will just be fine. They will just make a lot of money and stuff like that, and we are doing most of the work when they are just getting like a high percentage of things. They're just getting a high percentage of the revenue share, right? So they think it's easy money, and we constantly have to justify what we do to make sure that we keep the relationship, right? We keep the partnership and we keep the clients. But as I got into the space, I couldn't care less about the clients that I work with now. Like, not just that, but as in like I have to reframe what I'm saying. But basically like I couldn't care less about the people that actually want to scam, and like they are just like I have to qualify the prospects that actually would like to work with me, and I have to set expectations at the start, and I have to make it clear that they have to do certain things so that we can improve the business. And it's a partnership at the end of the day. So it's a business partnership. It's not just like some agency where you're just doing all of the work and you're paying a retainer. It's me actually doing most of the work for them, like emails, funnel building, automations, like handling sales teams. I have to pay the sales teams. I have like people not paying the sales team on time, and that's where the I don't want to name him, but you probably know like the saga of like, right? So you can, you know, take it as you will, but like they would pay their sales team late. They would not want to pay the sales team. They would not want to run ads. They would like, there's a lot of BS, and it's just messy. And I'm just so sick and tired of it. Honestly, my friends have worked with clients who actually say like, oh, I have a side business and I have to focus on this. I have to, like, they think, yeah, wrong expectations are set and everything just goes downhill, right? I used to have a client who just doesn't want to fulfill his product, and it's just crazy to me because like client success is the most important thing, and it's the lifeblood of a business. It's very important that you fulfill for your clients so that they can actually refer you to your friends. You can actually have social proof to promote your product and stuff like that. And it's just crazy to me that he doesn't really like fulfill much, and I'm basically the one like helping him with the entire cost. Like, that's crazy, honestly. But yeah, that's the second point. Like, the creator side is the creators that you are gonna work with, people are working with, like, might be good clients. Like, I've seen like growth operators who have really solid clients right now, and I have like solid clients right now. But it took me 2 years to actually find out every single thing and learn from experience so that I can actually say this in this video, right? So point three is that you're not actually owning a business, and you're just a partner. You're not the owner, and profit shares get messy. Like, when creators actually give you a percentage or a revenue share of the business, once you start making like 50 to 100K per month, like they will feel like they're giving you too much of the revenue, and they will feel like you don't deserve much of the revenue, and like they want to lower down your revenue share or like the percentage of it. And I have faced that myself. They just they just pay all the expenses, and they complain about things, and like they don't appreciate what you do. And it's just honestly crazy to me. And unless you control the payment processing side of things, like, you're not really in control. And this actually made me suffer in a way, because like I told you the story of like how one of my clients were paying my sales team late and stuff like that, and it's just like crazy. And they didn't really pay them like on time, and they will constantly ask me for the money, and I'm truly sorry, and I feel bad that they are not being paid on time, because I don't care if I'm getting paid on time or not. Like, it's my team, it's my actual members, it's my the people that are actually helping me with with the sales. And it's just crazy to me that they're not getting paid on time, and I feel bad for them, because they actually have to make money to eat, to survive and stuff like that, and they're just not getting paid on time, and it's just like crazy to me, right? So, like, that's the third point. Like, you're not actually owning a business, you're just a partner in the business, and you honestly need to find a very, very good client that will actually partner up with you, has the same business goals, has the same values and morals as you, that wants to actually see clients do well, see customers do well, and not just making the money in info and thinking that it's an easy model. Sorry. But yeah, it's just hard to find that kind of person. But luckily, I found one right now, and I have clients right now that are actually doing well. So yeah, like, I learned this throughout the past 2 years, and I just want to make sure that you understand this before you get into growth operating, or if you're in growth operating, like, yeah, like, you will understand this, right? So now we get into the upsides of growth operating. Like what I mentioned before, I'm not here to hate on it. I still do it, and it's a good business model, but you need skills first, and you need to understand, like, all these things before you even get into it. Because, like, you need to set expectations right. You need a good partner. You need the right clients, and you need the clients to align with your goals, and, like, you're honestly just trying to do well for their business, right? You're just trying to make as much money for them, and you're just doing it out of goodwill. Not just out of goodwill, they're gonna pay you, but as in, like, you're doing it out of a good heart, and, like, you're truly caring about your clients. But if they don't have the same goals, or, like, they don't have the same values or morals as you, you're just that's not a good partnership at the end of the day, right? So the upsides of it is that you can take 20 to 100K per month, even more, with growth operating, depending on the niche, of course. And you can honestly make a lot of money with this. Like, I have made, like, clients $177,000. I've seen people making like 100K per month with profit with their own, like, partnership. Like, yeah, like, I've seen people doing millions per month with their clients. They're making a lot of money right now, which is great on them. Like, not I'm not hating or not saying they're in a bad spot or anything, but you can make a lot of money from it, and I'm just not gonna hate on it, right? You can actually make a lot of money from it. It's not I'm not saying you can't make a lot of money from it, but you need the right clients. You need the experience, you need the skill sets, right? So it's better than being a full-time closer or a copywriter, unless you like sales and unless you like copywriting. But it's way better than being just a full-time closer or full-time copywriter or appointment setter or whatnot, because you're actually managing a business right now, and you're learning the skill set of business and the skill sets of business, and you actually have more leverage. You have way more leverage than just closing all day and, like, writing copy when clients are paying you like a retainer for copywriting, or paying you a commission and stuff like that. You actually get to manage a sales team, you actually get to write all the copy, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, right? You learn a lot of skills at once, and you learn funnel building, you learn automations, you learn leadership, you learn communication skills, you learn client success, you learn community management, you learn a lot of skills at once. And I learned a lot of skills at once, and that's why I'm still not the best, right? But I'm still learning. But, like, I learned a lot of things at once, and that's why I am able to make my clients 500K in revenue. I've made my clients 20K, 50K, 65K, 177K. Like, I can put screenshots. You can see my testimonials on my Instagram story highlights. But yeah, I've done it, and I learned a lot of skills at once, and that's why I'm able to make like quite a bit of money with it. So the good one of the good sides is that you don't have to be the face. So if you're an introvert like me, you don't have to be the face of the brand, and the creator will make a lot of the content. You just have to write the ads, you just have to help them with content strategies, you write them scripts and stuff like that. You tell them what to do in terms of handling limiting beliefs or objections inside of your content and stuff. And you don't make the product. The product is made by the creator or the business owner, because you don't have the skill set of learning, right? Let's say, for example, if you're in the AI agency niche, right? So, or let's say if you're in the manifestation niche, you don't know manifestation, so you can't teach anything, right? So you're gonna they have to make the product. They have to actually do all of the teaching and coaching, right? So you don't have to be the face, because content is just a full-time job and you don't have to do that. You're managing a business, which is also a full-time job, and you have to lock in and you have to be in the trenches, and that's how you can make your money. Because I heard this very good quote from Alan Sultanic. If you don't know him, great copywriter. Like, he's one of the goats. Like, he's quite niched, I would say. Like, not a lot of people know him, but he's very good at copy. And he said this quote is that in order to be successful with business, you either have to run an offer, or you have to be behind the scenes. And no, you have to run an offer, and you have to own, or you have to own an offer, right? So you either own or you either run the business. So in terms of growth operating, you're just running the business. You don't own it in a sense. You eventually can be a co-founder in it, of course, but you don't like own it. You don't make the content. You're not the face of the brand. So you actually run the business, right? So you're steering the ship and you're making real decisions, right? So you have to make a lot of the decisions inside of the business to make sure that you make a lot of money with it, and the client makes a lot of money with it. But you're actually like steering the ship, right? You're bringing the business in the direction where it makes a lot of money, and you're basically just running the entire business. And you can build a portfolio full of coaching clients or info clients, and this will be a very good portfolio for you in terms of your revenue, in terms of entrepreneurship, and you can actually be quite famous with it. So if you actually post content and you tell people your results, because I know someone that recently blew up, and he made his clients $1.4 million, if I believe. And he's doing well right now with his clients, and he has a full portfolio of clients right now with successful case studies and testimonials and stuff like that. So you can actually build a portfolio, and this will be very good for you if you transition to another business, and you can take the skill sets inside of growth operating, inside of info coaching, and bring it into another industry, and you can really dominate the other industry, right? So I just want to mention, I want to close off this entire video and say that growth operating is growth operating changed my life, right? I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying that it's the worst business model out there and you shouldn't get into it. But you need to understand what goes into growth operating, and you have to understand the honest truth and reality of growth operating. And you really need a lot of experience. You really need a skill set first. You really need to understand business before you even get into it, because you're just going to fail miserably if you don't understand how copy works, or how performance selling works, sales work, copyright, yeah, all of that stuff, right? You're just gonna fail. And like what I mentioned before, like at the start of the video, is that why would someone with a 50 to 100K like follower personal brand, or millions of followers on their personal brand, hire an inexperienced person to run their business, right? So you need credibility, you need the skill set, you need to really understand business fundamentals, because if you don't do that, you're just going to fail miserably, and no one would actually want to work with you, because you don't have the skill set, you don't have credibility, right? And once you get good at the skill set, you can really get good at growth operating. You can really do a lot of numbers with growth operating, right? So there are better things to do long term. There's way better things to do long term in terms of like running an actual, like partnering up with like a creator or something like that. You can even start an agency. You can, if you get good at sales, you can work for someone like Cole Gordon, and you can really master the skill and become someone that is lethal or very good at the skill set, and you can actually teach people how to manage sales teams. You can progress in as a sales manager. You can write copy for $1 million brands. There's so many things that you can do to improve your skill set long term. There's so many things you can do. You can also own your own business. You can start an agency. There's so many routes that you can go that you can do long term. And I'm not saying that growth operating is not long term, but you will learn a lot of skills with growth operating, and it can be long term. It is long term in a sense, but like in my experience right now, like I would recommend you to like get good at the skill set, because if you're very very good at writing direct response copy, you can actually make a lot of money with brands. You can even start an agency. You can become the best business for a certain niche like e-com brands and stuff like that. You can, yeah, there's so many routes that you can go into, and like you just have to get good at a certain skill set, and doors will open up for you, opportunities will flood your way, like people will refer you to other people, like yeah, there's so many opportunities, right? If you just learn one skill set and you really go all into it and you really become the best at it, right? So you will, all business is stacking up skills, right? All is just stacking up skills and really just getting good certain skill sets that make you leverage, that make you lethal in a certain industry, and you just have to master crafts like long term. You just have to get good at the high leverage stuff, right? And you can eventually make content about it. You can teach people. You can get into coaching. There's so many routes that you can go into, but the real point is that you have to get good at one skill first. You don't fall into shiny object syndrome and buy like Iman Gadzis or like any other growth operating program where they promise you the world and like they don't tell you like the bad sides to it and stuff like that. Don't fall into that shit. Just like actually work on your skill set. It's gonna be painful, it's gonna be hard work, and it's coming from a place where I experienced it before. So like don't fall into the trap like me in a sense. I saw results early, right? I saw results early and I'm still doing it. It's still a very good business model, but in a way you can do better for yourself, and I'm just saying that you can do way better for yourself if you actually like learn the skill longer and you focus your first 2 years or 3 years in business just like doing the thing over and over again and getting very very good at it. So don't fall into shiny object syndrome, think longer term, and you'll actually get into a very good place. And yeah, if you're inexperienced with like the online business game, the entrepreneurship game, just learn appointment setting, sales, or which is sales. Appointment setting is basically sales, right? Then you will eventually get a closer role, and you will close for info companies, coaching companies, like maybe e-com brands, whatever. But and you will actually learn the skill of sales. And or if you're not really that great at speaking, or if you're not really great at being an extrovert in a sense, you maybe if you are a little bit more introverted, you can get into copywriting like what I did. So you can go into these three things and you can learn a lot of things. You can even start like learning AI automations, and you still do well for like local businesses and stuff like that. You can, yeah, you can just learn a skill set first before you even start into growth operating. Through my experience, the number one thing that you have to learn is client acquisition. Because if you can't get leads, and if you can't generate them, and if you can't close them, then there's no business, right? So you need to understand business fundamentals, and you need to understand client acquisition, because yeah, like marketing and sales is like the lifeblood of a business. Then once you close or you understand how to generate a flow of leads. Once you understand how to close them, and that's actually how you fulfill. And that's where product comes into play, and that's where a lot of people just focus on marketing and sales, and they just like promise the world and they scam a lot of people, and they don't focus on the product. But all three things are very important, and you basically have to understand these three things in order to run a full business. So master client acquisition first. Once you understand marketing, once you understand how to frame an offer, how to make an offer, and all this stuff, like you can actually close people. You learn sales, you learn how to frame a conversation, you know how to objection handle. And once you close the client, you actually understand how to fulfill, keep clients happy, get their first quick win, and you'll learn all the business economics like LTV to CAC. You'll run ads, you'll learn cost per lead, you'll learn ROAS, you'll learn cost per result, and all that stuff, right? Which is very complicated, and that's what I learned throughout my growth operating journey. So I'm just saying that growth operating can work, but don't let any guru tell you otherwise and say that it's like the best business model, and don't let them sell you the dream. I would say just learn a skill set first, eventually like transition into growth operating, or you can even start an agency, go into a company and become the best closer or the best copywriter or CMO out there and learn skill sets, because there's a lot of people in the space right now that have like very, very niche YouTube channels that you don't know of, that are actually giving a lot of sauce, and they learned everything throughout like their 5, 8, 10 years of business being like a CMO or a sales manager, and they don't actually make content, and right now they're just like coming out with YouTube videos and stuff like that. So like they're actually valuable to a business. The point is that you don't want to be irreplaceable. You don't want to be someone, sorry, you don't want to be someone that is not valuable to a business, right? You want to be very valuable. And if you're gonna play the entrepreneurship game for a very, very long time, then you just need to learn skills. You just need to learn how to run a business. You need to learn all these things so that you can actually play the entrepreneurship game long term. If you're if you're gonna do this entrepreneurship thing, go all in, learn a skill, play it long term, because like you won't regret it. You'll make a lot of money through it. Sorry, I'm just like I spoke too much. But like you're gonna learn a lot of things, and you're going to learn all these business fundamentals and like how to actually market for businesses, how to do sales for businesses and teach people, and you just don't want to be irreplaceable. You want to think long term. You're gonna play this game for like the next 10 years. Play it right. So play it right, fuck up, fail multiple times, learn through experience, learn through mentors that are actually better than you at the skill, do all of that stuff, right? Like if you're gonna do this for a very long time, just do it the right way. Just like don't get into shiny object syndrome and like see all these people with Lambos or like crazy penthouses like selling you on the dream, where they're just basically just selling you on the dream. Like don't fall into that, right? I'm not hating on them, I'm not shitting on them, but it's just coming from a good place and from what I learned, what I experienced, and I just want you to fully understand this entire situation and what you're getting into. So if you like this video, just like or something, you can comment, you can hate on it, whatever. You can even like DM me down in the description. I will link my Instagram below. You can DM me about any questions. If you want to get into growth operating, I will reply to you. You can even comment in the comment section on what questions you have. But that's the video right here, and I hope it's a very honest video, and I hope you gotten some value out of this video, and I really wish the best for you. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.